Hi there, this is Rogerbining. It's Friday, January 6th, 2012. Happy New Year. And I'm just making this video as a public service announcement, and I will be posting it to my Facebook. And you can pass it along so it can save some lives, I guess. Anyways, there's a great game going on out there, I guess. And many lives are being lost, and people aren't really aware of, well, I guess a lot of them are aware of what's going on, but they refuse to say what is going on. So, anyways, there's all sorts of coercion methods that are being used. So I'm trying to just help somebody who might not know or have that self-awareness of what's going on inside their head or what's going on around them. And so there's many techniques that are used, such as Exhibit A, license plate, license plates, nap, cut. Somebody might cut something, your safety equipment. So this is a way of coercing you and trying to scare you. And somebody has done that to me at work. They've cut my safety equipment. And then the person who notices, name was Davy, and then these trucks drove around everywhere. So I think that's just a coercion method trying to scare you. There's also this. This is part of the media, is UTV. You might see parts of your life on TV. And as you can see, there's a big scandal happening in Britain right now where people's phones and computers were hacked and they're murder victims, and they saw themselves, parts of their lives were being used in TV series or on TV and sensationalized. And there's a big lawsuit going on there. And I'm going to let you know right now that's also happening here. Because as the license plate says UTV, I started seeing some parts of my life on TV, and I'm sure you have too, or on the radio. That's another coercion method, trying to scare you and trying to screw with you. And there's tax, screw with your taxes maybe, or but there's all sorts of ones like this. This one's weird. This one says Jeff 115, and you know what? I've just moved, and the house across the street, Jeff lives there with his wife, and their address is 115. So you gotta, when things like this start happening, you might think, oh, what's going on here? And basically, I think I've discovered that I've had some ideas over the years, and some of those ideas I discovered are being used. And I figured that I deserve millions of dollars. And when I started saying this, all this started happening. All these coercion methods started at 2004 when I was working as a bricklayer at that time. And now I've had other jobs since because of I had problems at the union there where I was kicked out for dues or whatnot, and that also appears on a license plate, dues, and which I think was just coercion because I think the corporation and the company basically owned the union. But anyways, and there's also you first uniform trucks that were driving around everywhere when I got kicked off one of the sites for not wearing a harness. But then first airline crash. But it's just an ongoing process, and there's a lot of kids, a lot of adults that have been murdered. Like I'm having maple syrup the other day. Maple from SFU got murdered. I was have is and just yesterday actually I wrote on Facebook and made a comment on Taz as well, and he wrote something about a dungeon, and now house fire with a dungeon in it. It's just every day. So these coercion methods are happening, but the thing is, they've tried to get me into an accident many times. They will go in front of you and brake, and that's why I want you to be aware of. And they actually hit my car and try to kill me. So, and you got to be careful of this game that's going on out there, because once they are after you, they're using all methods possible. And there's obviously, basically, if I look at all the news stories that happened in 2010, 2011 are somehow related. Like the high murder rate in Edmonton, every time I want to go out and do something, go run some stairs, some guy gets stabbed on top of the stairs. So basically, I probably am onto something. Not onto something, I already know that part of this is media related, part of it is company related, because they have stolen so many ideas and I have spoken out about it. And now they're just basically killing everybody just to coerce you or scare you into not speaking out. But that is not going to happen. And, sometimes it's just words are come to your head somehow, and we all know this. And so don't get mad at your friends and family because they don't some especially at the beginning because they won't know what's going on. And that's how you see these families getting murdered by their own relatives or own friends or whatever. So maybe stop and think for a second because they don't know what's actually going on. And yeah, because I've taken this game so far now that I've seen the whole aspect of the game, I wanted to let everybody else know just so maybe you can save some lives. And maybe sometimes the way you're feeling and being all anxious and everything else isn't really how you're feeling, just as some of the words you're saying that come out a certain way aren't really what's really being said. But anyways, and like the twin murders, the Beck, whatever their name was, prayers on a license plate. Anyways, all these I was seeing beforehand, so you could say it's kind of a foreshadowing. So if it's a foreshadowing method, then I'm obviously saying that they're trying to coerce me or scare me into keeping silent. But I will not do that. I will speak out, and as you can see, this right here is just like the tip of the icebergs. There's so much out there, and to uh, and also I don't know, like Sonny, you had a heart attack, but who's really to say? But you were writing shit on Facebook or things were coming to your mind, but um, anyway, that's why I said don't get mad at your friends because they will end up killing one of your friends or one of your relatives and try to make you go crazy. That's basically what they try to do. So I want to let everybody know that's what they do, and they will try to paranoid you with with like little gestures and whatnot. But basically, that's why I call them finger puppets because they don't know because they never had any control over themselves. So they're just basically naturally trained to gesture that way, so which you might get paranoid at first, but that's just how they are. They're just trained subhumans basically. So to anybody who's seeing this, because I don't want to see another Victoria Stratford murdered because they're trying to cohere me and my family into scaring us into thinking that our kid's going to be kidnapped. And I can tell you the whole story behind that and all the other murders. And I tried to tell the RCMP this when things did happen at my work, and they didn't actually take it seriously. So, but I do want the rest of you to know that this game does happen like this and be aware of it. And they will use license plates, they will use company trucks, company vehicles that will drive around, try to make you paranoid. They will use hand gestures and whatnot. And you might develop hypersensitivity, it's called, and you might just notice things a lot more. But and those things are always there every day. But the thing is, you will be bombarded by some of these things on license plates and everything else, and they will murder people. That's what they're doing. They're basically murdering all these people and saying and acting like nothing's happening, but they are actually murdering all these people trying to coerce someone. But anyways, so I want to put this out there, and it's also for my own benefit and my own protection, saying that this is all out there, and everybody knows what's going on, from my neighbors to my friends and family, and so yeah, so I want to get this to court, and I do have some. Well, I had to go through human rights because the RCMP didn't exactly want to be involved in what was happening, but uh, I think they might have a second opinion now that this might be on the web and all the things that I'm actually, all the allegations I am making, criminal behavior at work or criminal behavior on, of these companies, and criminal behavior by some of the union. And so have a happy new year 2012. And if you have any questions, my email address, don't hesitate. I will tell you everything you need to know. This is just unbelievable. Okay, bye. And I haven't mentioned the good stuff. There are some good things that do happen, but